This KFAN podcast is sponsored by Builders and Remodelers, exclusive Twin Cities provider of Elements Windows. Get the highest quality windows at unmatchable value. Visit buildersandremodelers.com for more details.
Talk about stepping up. Bang! Bang!
It's time to level up your game. Introducing the all-new ESPN app. All of ESPN, all in one place. Your home for the most live sports and the best championship moments.
The electricity is palpable.
Step up your game with no annual contract required. It's the ultimate fan experience. Level up for more on the ESPN app or at stream.espn.com. Sign up now.
This Labor Day, say goodbye to spills, stains, and overpriced furniture with WashableSofas.com. Featuring Anabe, the only machine washable sofa inside and out, where designer quality meets budget-friendly pricing. Sofas start at just $6.99, making it the perfect time to upgrade your space. Anabe's pet-friendly, stain-resistant, and interchangeable slipcovers are made with high-performance fabric built for real life. You'll love the cloud-like comfort of hypoallergenic, high-resilience foam that never needs fluffing, and a durable steel frame that stands the test of time. With modular pieces, you can rearrange anytime. It's a sofa that adapts to your life. Now through Labor Day, get up to 60% off site-wide at WashableSofas.com. Every order comes with a 30-day satisfaction guarantee. If you're not in love, send it back for a full refund. No return shipping, no restocking fees, every penny back. Shop now at WashableSofas.com. Offers are subject to change and certain restrictions may apply.
This is Rob Gronkowski from Dudes on Dudes. Applebee's just cooked up the ultimate option play with their new Ultimate Trio deal. You can choose from 3 of their delicious appetizers and pair them up with 3 sauces for just $14.99. Craft your perfect trio from over 80,000 different combinations in this flavor-packed plate built for one, or to share if you're generous. You can stick with the classic pairings like boneless wings and buffalo sauce, or you can spice things up and try some unexpected pairings like dipping chicken wonton tacos in our honey Dijon mustard. It's time to head to your neighborhood Applebee's or order online today. Now that's eating good in the neighborhood.
Here we are all together at the Great Minnesota Get-Together, and it is 9 to noon style. Those of you here at Carousel Park or traversing the Falcon Heights Fairgrounds, I am Paul Allen. The producer is Eric Nordquist, and this is 9 to noon at FM 100.3 KFAN. We are super happy to be here and super excited for Minnesota Timberwolves head coach Chris Finch to join us here at about 10:15. So we're an hour and 14 minutes from Finchy joining us at the State Fair for a couple of segs, and that's going to be fantastic. We also are quite thrilled for Minnesota Vikings quarterback Max Brosmer, and here's why. Max Brosmer, you just say the name and the fair ignites. The producer ignites. The undrafted kid from Georgia, by way of PJ Flex Gopher, seems to have not only made the Minnesota Vikings active 53, and I mean, shoot, he might be quarterback 2 when the team plays Chicago a couple of weeks from today. This, by the way, is the weekend wrap provided by Hoffman Cooling and Heating, hoffmanheating.net. So let's weekend wrap. Max Brosmer, who knew? In case you missed it, the Minnesota Vikings traded quarterback Sam Howell to the Philadelphia Eagles for a pick swap and a 7th. The same Sam Howell for whom they traded less than 4 months ago to be the backup to J.J. McCarthy. And now it's a weekend wrap on Sam Howell's truncated tenure as a quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings. So, once Eagles backup, a Tanner McKee, hurt a finger on his throwing hand and is going to miss time, Kwesi struck. The general manager struck. And Carson Wentz caught a ride on the Kwesi train. Carson Wentz catches a ride on the Kwesi train. Carson Wentz, Bismarck. Bismarck's Carson Wentz will make the active 53, but will he be McCarthy's backup 2 weeks from today? Holy cow, the Minnesota Vikings have a football game 2 weeks from today at Soldier Field on Monday Night Football. Well, now that sounds good enough to eat. Carson Wentz, smart young man, this NDSU Bison-raised Carson Wentz, but can he absorb enough in 2 weeks to be QB2, or has the undrafted Gopher won the hearts and trust of Kevin O'Connell and coaches so deeply he starts the season as QB2 to J.J. McCarthy?
Wow.
What a world. I mean, it's unbelievable. What a world. Max Brosmer got Sam Howell traded, and I don't have confirmation on that, but I'm going with it. And we're going to ride that discernment and believe that absolutely played into the equation. An undrafted quarterback who played 1 year at the University of Minnesota just got a guy who had 17 starts and had a game with 397 and 4 touchdowns against the Eagles. Maybe that's why the Eagles traded for him. Okay, 3-2. But he got him traded. I mean, that's just nobody could have predicted that heading into training camp. So if Wentz cannot or does not or is not expected to absorb this voluminous playbook and all of the concoctions that are mixed that go into plays and football games and stuff like that, Max Brosmer, quarterback 2, when the team heads to Chicago 2 weeks from today, and if he has won that job for now or has won it, period, what do we think of all that? That's a chat that is going to definitely encapsulate some time today, 9 to noon. Nordo produces. Good morning.
Good morning. I don't, with Carson Wentz, who actually just doom scrolling on X over the weekend.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember this. When we would go to Indy and the combine-related shows we would do were actually inside Lucas Oil. Mm-hmm. And it was on the concourse and players were walking by. Do you remember actually meeting Carson Wentz at that 2016 combine?
No. When the Vikings were at FedEx Field within the last few years, I chatted with Carson Wentz on the sideline. He was a quarterback for Washington, and he wasn't playing. But no, I don't remember that, but I'm sure it's accurate.
Well, you went full Rube mode, and you chased him down the concourse.
I think I did.
People were wondering why this silver-haired older gentleman is chasing down future top 5 pick in the NFL.
Just like I did Matt Khalil in 2012 when he was walking through the concourse at Lucas Oil, and I left the radio show, and I said, here's the deal. I'm going to get you a $19,000 endorsement from Continental Diamond if you'll join the radio show. Like every week during the football season. This is the combine. They haven't even drafted yet. And I'm like, well, no. You're going to be a Viking, and I think you know it. So he smiled, looked at God's cartoon character, and said, we'll talk about it later.
But it almost felt at some point like we would see him here as he started going from team to team to team, year after year after year, backup stage of his career, the connection via, I believe, the short time he spent with the Rams and such. He kind of enters this role. Does he become a mentor? Because at this stage, as you mentioned, it is QB2 Brosmer. Brosmer is QB2.
It kind of has to be.
It must be.
It has to be into the Bears game, doesn't it?
And so Wentz's role, and it kind of feels weird, the idea of keeping 3 QBs on a roster when you're thinking about depth of certain positions.
Right.
And just kind of how this team has rolled the last handful of years. And certainly, during Cousins' tenure. But to that end, Brosmer has to be QB2. And it's all super impressive from the first preseason game where Max kind of shows out a little bit. It's like, okay, that's cute. Fourth quarter, fourth down, finds Miles Price for the touchdown. And there's a little bit of Brosmer mania, and he wore maroon and gold. So there's some homerisms that are taking place there, just rooting for the somewhat local angle. But then he got better. And then he kept doing it.
Yeah.
And then he kept coming back.
And others got worse.
And Friday, whether it was the Monday night practice at TCO and these other venues, you're just saying, okay, well, experience matters. Sam Howell has that experience. So clearly, he's going to be the number 2. Super cute story with the local angle and Max Brosmer. But let's be honest with ourselves. We're not taking 2 kids who have never taken an NFL snap into season and games that count, season on the line according to everybody. And there's no chance we're going to do that. But Max made himself uncuttable.
Yeah.
Max made himself an absolute asset to this offense with the intelligence end of learning the offense, with the performance on the field, practice, and in these exhibition games. It's just been an impressive journey where in the preseason where we're just trying to figure out, where does Elijah Williams fit? Does Khalif Halasi, is he going to make the team? Those are typically the types of conversations that we have during this preseason mode, but it's just been the story of camp, I think the story of the spring and summer, what Max Brosmer has done. So it's just awesome, and he has to be, just by no other reason than reps in this offense. He's QB2.
You would think.
He's QB2 in the Soldier Field.
Well,
how about
possibly.
that?
He possibly is quarterback, too. But if you take the layering step by step, and I like how Nordo laid it out, but just a college free agent quarterback making a National Football League 53-man roster.
Yeah.
I mean, that's puncher's chance terrorism right there. And this is the cuts are tomorrow. I think the Vikings cut 11, maybe 12 players yesterday, including quarterback Brett Rippon.
They're down to 79 now, yeah.
So, they'll get to the 53 tomorrow and set the practice squad, but Brosmer is going to be on the active roster, is where all the metaphorical crumbs are leading us.
It's weird. He did it.
Now, PJ Fleck. How about PJ Fleck? I mean, he can peacock right now. Seriously, how much can PJ Fleck peacock? He raised this quarterback to the University of Minnesota. Now the guy's probably going to make an active roster. That's fantastic work.
Well, while you were getting shaken down through security on your way to Nashville, I think that was last Thursday, and I brought JG and Grim by, and final hour, the head coach, PJ Fleck, was here in the booth with us.
Peacocking, though.
And, paraphrasing, I don't have the exact quote in front of me, but I asked him about it. So we're looking forward, right? Buffalo Bills, Buffalo Bulls this Thursday.
You asked him?
Huntington Bank Stadium, but I said, let's look back for a second.
JG and Grim let you talk?
Yeah.
Yes.
The question I had for him was effectively I know we're forward focused here, but let's look back. Are you surprised with what you're seeing? This is a day prior to the preseason game.
We're absolutely not.
And the head coach.
They all say that.
Yeah. Well, but the head coach went free show for about 2 straight minutes, just absolutely lauding him and kind of going from A to Z. Not only what impressed him, and ultimately got him bought into to have him lead the Gophers a year ago. But effectively, he's like, this guy's going to have a decade-long career in the NFL. That's how much he believes in this kid.
Well.
And to watch in such short time, his ability, he was making throws. I know it's a preseason game. Brosmer's making throws in some of these games, and I was I watched all the Gophers games last year. I didn't see that. The growth and the arc of his trajectory, how quickly he found himself, how quickly he made himself belong.
So are you saying PJ Fleck's offense just caught a stray because it's not that of Kevin O'Connell's? We're just joking there. But last week I had the opportunity to sit down and record an interview with Max Brosmer. About 13 minutes, and I came back the next day, and Nordo and I have been together doing the show for 10 to 11 years. So he kind of knows where the bones are buried with me, with when I really believe in something, or if I'm trying to talk myself into something, or vocal maintenance days, or whatever. But I came back that next day, and I'm like, I've sat down with a lot of rookies over a lot of years, and this guy's different. He just is different. The engaging nature of Max Brosmer really, really bit me last week. So then we're playing the interview on 9 to noon. And I forgot to bring this up to you. And you can listen back to the part of it if you want, because you'll get a chuckle out of it. I asked him a question about Vikings head coach Kevin O'Connell and the quarterback's coach, Josh McCown. And so he's going through this thoughtful answer about who has helped him in certain situations at least have a chance to even play in preseason games because he's humble.
Yeah.
And he chatted about Kevin O'Connell, and he chatted about Josh McCown. And then he thanked Brett Rippon for work that he's done with him in certain areas. And then he thanked and praised J.J. McCarthy for work that he's done with him in certain scenarios. The one he didn't mention was Sam Howell. At the end of it, I thought for a second to say, what happened? What about Sam? But I didn't say it. But I wanted to say it next day with you, and I forgot. So if you listen back to that, he mentioned everybody except Sam Howell. So it's either like, now Sam, I didn't get to know Sam real well in his truncated time here. Sam, for me, was a little bit on the quiet side and just kind of kept to himself. And I'm not going to say he was a different guy in a bad way or anything, but I just he just never engaged at any time. And maybe that was the case with Brosmer, too. Maybe Hal was in complete QB2 persevering mode. All right, 3-2. QB2 holding mode. And he wasn't helping Max because he felt Max nipping at his heels.
Well, based on what I was watching at practices, based on what I saw in the preseason games, was it Sam Howell who needed to help Max Brosmer, or was it Max Brosmer who needed to help Sam Howell? That's kind of how it played out. We talked at the Monday night practice. I mentioned that earlier. Mm-hmm. Everything was slower. He didn't have time to socialize because he was busy fighting the current and swimming in it and potentially drowning and just trying to get these plays to work the way that they're supposed to. Mm-hmm. Max Brosmer didn't have that issues. Maybe Howell needed to have a humble moment. Maybe ask the kid QB for a couple of pointers out there on the field.
So Carson Wentz, all right, second overall pick by the Philadelphia Eagles in 2016. His second season, 2017, he was en route to potentially winning the MVP award.
He was MVP caliber.
Right. And then December 12th.
Was it a Rams game?
He went lunging for the end zone at the LA Coliseum, and he tore his ACL. Tough kid, this Carson Wentz. He played on the ACL in the game and actually threw his league-leading 33rd touchdown, but clearly something had gone amiss, and that was it. He never was the same after that in the estimation of some. That fateful December day in South Central Los Angeles. And the Birds went on to win the Super Bowl with Nick Foles and his Philly special. So Carson would finish third in MVP voting that year to Tom Brady and Todd Gurley, and would start 39 more games for the Eagles, compiling a record of 17, 21-1, throwing 64 touchdowns against just 29 picks. So there were, it's Foles' job now, but then Wentz eventually is going to start games. And I thought it was going to be a lot worse than that when I went deep diving yesterday. But during the course of those final games he started for the Eagles, 64 TDs and 29 picks. It ain't great, but it ain't terrible. Then it was Indy, where he played with Ryan Kelly and Will Fries, a couple of offensive linemen for the Minnesota Vikings. And he went from there to Washington, then Los Angeles and Kansas City, and now he's here. Carson Wentz has started 94 games in his career. Sam Howell had 17 starts under his belt, but one was against Philly, and he went for 397 and 4 touchdowns. So their GM, Howie Roseman, clearly remembers that performance and was like, when Kwesi called, we'll take him. So the new Sam, the man on the fam, is now in the Eagles' nest. And the question here is, do they like Wentz so much he just becomes the 2, or has Brosmer done so much, so well, he has one QB2? Wentz, 94 starts on which to call. Howell, 17. Rippon had 4. Rippon's Cup, by the way. Rippon had 4. Brosmer, none. Now, they're going to cut down tomorrow, and more team-wide answers will be unfurled. But Max Brosmer is the story here. Kwesi and these penny stocks from college free agency, seriously. Ivan Pace Jr., Gabriel Murphy, Jalen Redmond was undrafted, but he's on our team now. Taki Taimani, undrafted. His newest wild card, Tavair Thomas, who's a DB, we'll talk about him next segment, undrafted back in the day, but now he's here. and I have him making the final 53 as we share this next segment. Then you get Bo Richter, Ben Urasek, a tight end from Georgia. I think he has a chance to make the team. They're all undrafted. And now Brosmer. I mean, Kwesi in these penny stocks. Well done, young man, on that Kwesi
Free
train.
agency never fails on the Kwesi train.
Hey.
Free agency never fails on the Kwesi train.
One more to add to that list, too. Isn't Elijah Williams Morgan State's finest?
Williams, yes, he hasn't made it yet, but I think I'd bet he makes it, but I wouldn't bet a lot.
Okay, fair enough.
So I'm just talking about those who, Urasek, I think, is 75-25. But that's a lot of penny stocks, college free agents on whom you're counting. This is a 14-win operation, so it's not like they're so desperate that they have to take all these college free agents just to get a team together. But now Brosmer. So 2 weeks from today, it's the Vikes at Bears on KFAN, and it's without Sam Howell, and it might be very much with Max Brosmer. And we welcome Carson Wentz also to the Covenant. And none of this really matters under the assumption J.J. McCarthy is the starting quarterback here for many, many years. But if the assumption is correct, Max Brosmer got Sam Howell traded and might have won the QB2 spot for an organization that believes it's of the Super Bowl winning variety. So let's draw the conclusion that all of this is accurate with the 53. If you're a college free agent quarterback and you find a way to make the roster, 53-man roster of a 14-win team with a play calling coach, with Justin Jefferson, TJ Hawkinson, and the rest of the gang, and they like to throw, Covenant claps for that. I mean, that's of tenacity.
Yeah.
That's of fortitude, and that is a fantastic venture if indeed it comes true. Now, courtesy of TimberTech and TimberTech.com, what's on deck 9 to noon today includes Minnesota Timberwolves head coach Chris Finch. He'll be here at about 10:15. Plus, we have much more. Nordo produces, and I'm Paul Allen. Welcome to the State Fair. You're listening to FM 100.3.
This Labor Day, say goodbye to spills, stains, and overpriced furniture with WashableSofas.com. Featuring Anabay, the only machine washable sofa inside and out, where designer quality meets budget-friendly pricing. Sofas start at just $6.99, making it the perfect time to upgrade your space. Anabay's pet-friendly, stain-resistant, and interchangeable slipcovers are made with high-performance fabric built for real life. You'll love the cloud-like comfort of hypoallergenic, high-resilience foam that never needs fluffing, and a durable steel frame that stands the test of time. With modular pieces, you can rearrange anytime. It's a sofa that adapts to your life. Now through Labor Day, get up to 60% off site-wide at WashableSofas.com. Every order comes with a 30-day satisfaction guarantee. If you're not in love, send it back for a full refund. No return shipping, no restocking fees, every penny back. Shop now at WashableSofas.com. Offers are subject to change and certain restrictions may apply.
Life moves fast. A new home, a new baby, a new chapter. But without an estate plan, your future's still vulnerable. With Trust and Will, you can name guardians, start a trust, create healthcare directives, and more. All online in about an hour. It's attorney-designed, state-specific, and built to protect what you love. Plans start at just $199, and every plan is safe, secure, and kept completely private. From families with young kids to adults caring for aging parents, Trust and Will makes it simple to take control, without a law office, paperwork stress, or court delays. Go to trustandwill.com and use code RADIO to save 20%. Start your plan today. Don't wait for life to force your hand. Estate planning is one of the smartest, most loving things you can do. Trust and Will is an online estate planning service. See website for details.
Trust and Will.
This is Julian Edelman from Games with Names. Anyone else feeling hungry? Because Applebee's just cooked up the ultimate option play with their new Ultimate Trio deal. You can choose from 3 of their delicious appetizers and pair them up with 3 sauces for just $14.99. Craft your perfect trio from over 80,000 different combinations in this flavor-packed plate built for one, or to share if you're generous. You could stick with the classic pairings like boneless wings and buffalo sauce, mozzarella sticks and marinara, or brew pub pretzels with white cheddar beer cheese, or you could spice things up and try some unexpected combinations like dipping chicken wonton tacos in their honey Dijon mustard. The choice is yours. The Ultimate Trio is the perfect way to hit all your cravings in one plate and turn appetizers into an entree. It's time to head to your neighborhood Applebee's or order online today. That's eating good in the neighborhood.
Talk about stepping up. It's time to level up your game. Introducing the all-new ESPN app. All of ESPN, all in one place. Your home for the most live sports and the best championship moments.
The electricity is palpable.
Step up your game with no annual contract required. It's the ultimate fan experience. Level up for more on the ESPN app or at stream.espn.com. Sign up now.
KFAN. Gophers basketball player Parker Fox joins us here at the State Fair booth, 9 to noon style, adjacent to the grandstand, about 15 minutes from now. Chris Finch, head coach of the Minnesota Timberwolves, will be here at 10:15, and Kevin Gord from Canterbury Park and FanDuel Sports North, he'll be here at 11 o'clock. Marco Rossi gets a 3-year deal from the Minnesota Wild over the weekend, and the obvious question for me is, like, that's cool and everything, but what about Kaprizov?
What about Kirill?
And we'll see what he has to say about old 97. But for the purpose of 9 to noon, 2 weeks in front of Monday Night Football against Ben Johnson's Chicago Bears, let's unfurl some Vikes Bites provided by
Thousand Hills Lifetime Grazed Grass-Fed Beef. You can shop online. A box of meat shows up at your doorstep. You can go to your local Coburns, Kowalski's, Co-ops. They're proud sponsors of Gophers Athletics, though. And Clearwater, Minnesota company, shop local. And they carry their side of the business, too. They elite, nutrient-dense beef. Love Matt and everybody at Thousand Hills. Covering the specifics or the deep details of the trade itself, PA, you mentioned Sam Howell heads to the Birds.
Mm-hmm.
Vikes turned a 6th into a 5th in next year's draft, and they added a 2027 7th. What do you think Kwesi's thinking about with all these draft picks? I mean, last segment, you mentioned the success that this team has had with undrafted free agents.
Yeah, we got a lot of picks, don't we?
There's an element of it where you kind of had to be successful out of necessity because of the lack of picks. And now we have like 15 picks in next year's draft.
Yes.
Which leads me down the road of this. The Adam Thielen buzz. Jumped up heavy over the course, I believe, basically Friday it blew up.
Yep.
And then into the weekend, just kind of chilled a little bit.
I think it's real.
A question of currency that will be required to peel Adam Thielen from the Carolina Panthers, the veteran influence and some of the work he's done with the kids down there.
Right.
To peel him away from Carolina and get him back into Minnesota, you're feeling that it's real.
Yeah.
And I wonder how much maybe this extra currency garnered in the Sam Howell trade might assist to potentially push those conversations forward and find 19 back here in Minnesota.
Well, they will have a receiver on their team who's not currently on the team.
Yeah.
Whether it's Adam Thielen, that's to be bandied about. But it's when we started thinking about things like this a few weeks ago, really one of the first things that I said, and I'm going to stick by it too, even though I don't have confirmation on it, is if I'm the Carolina Panthers, I want to win games too. And Thielen's still good. And Thielen is the perfect guy for the Xavier Legettes of the world and all of these young receivers they have. So if I'm Carolina, like, why would I want to move him? And he the money he's on a cool deal. I mean, he's not breaking the proverbial bank.
Yeah, it's like 6 maybe in that neighborhood.
I think. So if I'm Carolina, I just stick by what I said before. I wouldn't want to trade him. So if I were Carolina, I would make somebody overpay. I don't know if the Vikings are willing to overpay When I say I think it's real, it's because I don't see how the Vikings couldn't have interest in him, even though he doesn't return punts, and that's something that they still, I would imagine, are thinking about. But I'm just going to wait it out like everybody else. If Adam Thielen's back in the covenant, I think that would be fantastic because he runs the slot still quite well. And you're going to be without Addison for the first 3 games. I don't know what's up with Jalen Naylor, but he's not practicing. Ty Felton, I don't even think he made the trip to Nashville. But that all leads to getting this team to 53 players. And those cuts take place tomorrow. So from an offensive standpoint, I have 26 of them right now, and I think I need to lose one. To get to 50 offense and defense with Will Reichert, Ryan Wright, and Andrew DePaula making up the special teams trifecta.
Let me clip on you for a second. Does it feel like the Chapman-Wright competition? How real was that in your mind? Because it was kind of the idea of the banana balls, and all jokes aside, Chapman, from a kicking standpoint, looked pretty damn good.
Pretty good.
But there may have been an issue on the holding side of things that potentially pushed Wright over the top in that matchup.
Well, last year, the Vikings paraded a player into training camp who used to be a receiver at Portland State, and then he was a punter, but he might not have been a receiver. He was an incredible athlete. Guy's name was Seth Vernon. That guy ran like the wind. Holy cow. But it was for naught. This year, it was the Aussie Oscar Chapman. Now, Chapman had a lot more equity than Vernon, in that he punted 5 years at Auburn, went 248 in the SEC without having a punt block. Oscar Chapman has never had a punt blocked in his life because he didn't play high school football in South Australia, in Adelaide. And he didn't have one blocked at Auburn. We went through last week messing around, looking at the biggest games this Chapman's played in, and they were the Iron Bowls with Auburn and Alabama. And he was fantastic in those games with a lot of pressure on him. I think the long play here is they like to put pressure on Ryan Wright. They like to make him perform under pressure. I don't know the reason why, but he's not a bad punter. He's not one of the best in the NFL, even though he was his rookie year. But they like putting pressure on him.
And I learned from Lieber on the broadcast, because he's international.
Yeah.
They can actually keep him. He doesn't count against the 53. So
yes.
Could Ryan Wright escape this pressure? He's going to have to see the Aussie at every practice all year.
So from a quarterback standpoint, this is certainly not speaking for the team. These are all my predictions. And the problem with trying to get to a 53, I thought Kevin Seifert did a really good one this weekend at ESPN.com, Old School, Best School, is like if you miss one, you've missed two. And if there's a trade, well, that messes the whole thing up. So this is for entertainment purposes only. And from a quarterbacking standpoint, I have it McCarthy 1, right now Brosmer 2, and Carson Wentz. So we have 3 quarterbacks. From a running back standpoint, I have them keeping Aaron Jones, Jordan Mason, Ty Chandler, C.J. Ham, and maybe Xavier Scott. Okay, Xavier Scott's a maybe, but my man has a little bit of special teams demon to him. From a wide receiving standpoint, I have them keeping Jordan Addison, Justin Jefferson, Jalen Naylor, along with Ty Felton. And then you get to Miles Price. All right. Now, I don't see how they can cut Miles Price. I mean, they can put him on the practice squad. I don't think anybody would pick him up. They probably will do that and then elevate him weekends of games to return punts and kicks. Miles did pretty well with the punts and the kicks during preseason and training camp. So I think he's going to play in the games. I don't know if he's going to be on the active 53. But you run the risk of losing him if you put him on the practice squad. I don't really think anybody's going to pluck him to be a receiver for their team on their active roster. But I'm going to put him in here for now. And then I have an X next to the next wide receiver spot because they're going to have somebody here. Whether it's Adam Thielen, Tyreek Hill, Xavier Legette, Devontae Adams, or the skeletal remains of Art Monk. Somebody's going to be here. So I count that as a spot, which gets me to 6 receivers. Offensive line, Christian Darrisaw, Donovan Jackson, Ryan Kelly, Will Fries, Brian O'Neill. Then you get to Michael Juergens, second-year center, Blake Brandell, Swiss Army knife, Justin School, a tackle, and Walter Rouse. So that gets us to 9, which means my guy from Wisconsin, Joe Huber. What's going on, Pete Fox? Joe Huber, he might be the odd man out here going to the practice squad, but he could make it, depending on what they do with Scott and or Price. In fact, I'd probably put Huber in there to give him 10 and just take Scott or Price and put him on the practice squad.
Yeah.
Tight ends, T.J. Hawkinson, Josh Oliver, and Ben Urasek, undrafted Georgia. So that would get me to 25-ish. Then we'll do the defense when Parker Fox joins us to try to get this thing to 53. But not really many surprises, if any, on defense. No. With the secondary, I think there is, because I haven't heard a lot of people talk about this guy. And then I watched him gun and play special teams in the New England joint practices. And he matters. So we'll unfurl and unveil that name and welcome in Parker Fox, a Monday staple, 9 to noon, when we return to the State Fair.
This Labor Day, say goodbye to spills, stains, and overpriced furniture with WashableSofas.com. Featuring Anabay, the only machine washable sofa inside and out, where designer quality meets budget-friendly pricing. Sofas start at just $6.99, making it the perfect time to upgrade your space. Anabay's pet-friendly, stain-resistant, and interchangeable slipcovers are made with high-performance fabric built for real life. You'll love the cloud-like comfort of hypoallergenic, high-resilience foam that never needs fluffing, and a durable steel frame that stands the test of time. With modular pieces, you can rearrange anytime. It's a sofa that adapts to your life. Now through Labor Day, get up to 60% off site-wide at WashableSofas.com. Every order comes with a 30-day satisfaction guarantee. If you're not in love, send it back for a full refund. No return shipping, no restocking fees, every penny back. Shop now at WashableSofas.com. Offers are subject to change and certain restrictions may apply.
Life moves fast. A new home, a new baby, a new chapter. But without an estate plan, your future's still vulnerable. With Trust and Will, you can name guardians, start a trust, create healthcare directives, and more. All online in about an hour. It's attorney-designed, state-specific, and built to protect what you love. Plans start at just $199, and every plan is safe, secure, and kept completely private. From families with young kids to adults caring for aging parents, Trust and Will makes it simple to take control, without a law office, paperwork stress, or court delays. Go to trustandwill.com and use code RADIO to save 20%. Start your plan today. Don't wait for life to force your hand. Estate planning is one of the smartest, most loving things you can do. Trust and Will is an online estate planning service. See website for details.
Trust and Will.
This is Rob Gronkowski from Dudes on Dudes. Anyone else feeling hungry? Because Applebee's just cooked up the ultimate option play with their new Ultimate Trio deal. You can choose from 3 of their delicious appetizers and pair them up with 3 sauces for just $14.99. Craft your perfect trio from over 80,000 different combinations in this flavor-packed plate built for one, or to share if you're generous. You can stick with the classic pairings like boneless wings and buffalo sauce, mozzarella sticks and marinara, or brew pub pretzels and white cheddar beer cheese. Or you can spice things up and try some unexpected combinations like dipping chicken wonton tacos in their honey Dijon mustard. The choice is yours. The Ultimate Trio is the perfect way to hit all your cravings in one plate and turn appetizers into an entree. It's time to head to your neighborhood Applebee's or order online today. Now that's eating good in the neighborhood.
Talk about stepping up. Bang! Bang! It's time to level up your game. Introducing the all-new ESPN app. All of ESPN, all in one place. Your home for the most live sports and the best championship moments.
The electricity is palpable.
Step up your game with no annual contract required. It's the ultimate fan experience. Level up for more on the ESPN app or at stream.espn.com. Sign up now.
KFAN. right. Ladies and gentlemen, from the fighting city of Matamidi, by way of the University of Minnesota basketball program, and now a rising star within the vast and ever-expanding KFAN audio network, can we get a witness and a raucous round of applause for Parker Fox joining us at the Great Minnesota Get-Together? What up, P. Fox?
There we go. What a beautiful morning, huh? This is the weather you're looking for. You put a sweatshirt on, maybe take it off after you've had a couple of pups. And, you make your way through the fair today. It's beautiful.
Well, generally, you keep it on after eating a bunch of Pronto Pups, but at least for yours truly, because I would sprout a fourth chin and get a little paunchy above the belt line, so therefore you want to wear something loose. Not you're an athlete forever. But generally speaking, the KFAN hoodie or this KFAN long sleeve concoction. What's going on? Picture here, Parker.
Love it.
God bless you. Generally speaking, the KFAN hoodies come off not after you eat Pronto Pups, but after you imbibe. That's when people are walking around like, hey, Dave McCarthy, what about Max Brosmer? Just swinging it in the air. I'm talking about the sweatshirt, by the way. That's radio.
That one's sweet over there. That 9 plus 18 is 6. That's a nice hoodie. I might have to go home with that one.
Yeah, stop by our pro shop around the corner if you get the opportunity. KFAN hats are super cool. You also have the sweatshirt and the hoodie that P. Fox just mentioned. And there's much, much more. At Parker Fox via the tweet machine, if you're so inclined. At Parker Fox via X, if you would like to follow him, as 9 to Noon does. And was when you were growing up, was the state fair important to you and your family?
I think as a Minnesotan, you have to have a little bit of that, right? You have to have the ability to know when it is, at least. If anybody important to you is performing at the grandstand, if there's a menu item you love. But then kind of as I got into high school, it was a little less state fair than I usually wanted to go to. But turned that around when I came
why?
back. I don't know. Schedules got busy.
Yeah.
You know, basketball came around. I was playing football in high school. So
you did?
Yeah.
Tight end?
I was quarterback, PA. I was
at Matamidi?
I was in the pocket. Well, I ended up quitting after my sophomore year.
Oh,
but, yeah.
Why? St. Thomas drove you out of the league?
They actually St. Thomas broke my hand the last play of my football career.
Cheating Abbott.
I know. I have to get on Abbott for that. But then I was like, basketball's my main focus. I'm not going to sit here and break hands.
Yeah. So wait a second. You actually played in games as a quarterback.
Not varsity games.
Junior varsity?
Bro,
you never were a quarterback. Stop lying to the crowd.
I played quarterback all the way up.
I pressed you on 3 things, and they all were. Well, I actually never did that. I didn't do that either.
I wasn't good enough to play varsity or JV. I played all the way up through youth football.
So it was a Saturday morning scrimmage?
For Saturday, yeah, exactly.
So basically, you and family members get together every Thanksgiving and play two-hand touch football.
At halftime?
Yeah, and I had 800 yards
for the
and 9
Zephyrs.
touchdowns.
Well, at least you can see over the line of scrimmage. Holy cow.
That's right.
Brosmer, though,
man. So pumped for him.
That's the cool thing, not only about Parker, but about this generation and Max Brosmer, where all you have to say is Brosmer, though.
I know, and you get fired up.
And people know what we're talking about.
Exactly.
Max Brosmer, and until I get a message from Minnesota Vikings Public Relations, they may not be listening, but Spearfish has been known to listen, saying that what you're saying is wrong. Max Brosmer did not get Sam Howell traded. I'm going with it, and I'm going with it really hard.
I like it.
Because college free agent quarterbacks making active rosters and assuming the backup role, even for a game, if Wentz isn't ready for the Bears game or up through the bye or whatever, Carson Wentz, that is so abnormal. That Brosmer, though, I was when I saw you at training camp practice.
Yeah.
You got a picture with Max Brosmer.
I know. Yeah, that's my guy, man. He's a guy. You talk about this the athletes only cafeteria at the U, and
super exclusive.
Super exclusive. The
Parker Fox, Max Brosmer, Brock Faber, and Derek Engelhop.
So it's a good crew right there, huh? But Brosmer is one of those guys you didn't really see around the cafeteria too much.
Amanda's like, what about me? Anyway, go ahead.
Well, he's a guy you didn't see around the cafeteria too much, and you'd ask people, where's Max Brosmer? Like, why is he not eating lunch? He was in studying film. He was in meeting rooms. He was super locked in.
That's what they told you.
That's what they told you, right? Yeah. But,
well, no, because he didn't talk to you.
Yeah, that's true.
And
maybe he just didn't want to see me. Well, he texted me last night. I texted him last night.
Oh, you got his number? Cool, I need it.
Congratulated him and everything, and he's looking to play a little bit more golf before the season starts. So I said, you better stay in that playbook.
Oh, that's great.
Learn how to hit the fairway.
Well, it turns out he's handling prosperity beautifully. He gets Sam Howell traded and is like, bleep it. I made the squad. I'm going to hit the links.
Oh, I love it. But no, a guy that started all 13 games at the U, brought up to an 8-5 record. He completed a school record 268 passes for almost 3,000 yards. I was trying to look at some stats that kind of differentiated his first half of the season versus his second half of the season.
Wow.
And unfortunately, it was only 9 yards different per game, so I don't know if that's a big enough stat to bring up on radio. But from the eye, for the viewer, I just thought his second half of the season was just an upward kind of trend and just going the right way. And I think that's what kind of propelled him to making this Vikings roster.
All right. Well, Nordo said something earlier that I thought was it because he watches all the Gophers games, and it's not that I can't, because some Saturdays I'm traveling with the pro team to go to a road destination. And what Nordo said earlier was he doesn't like these throws that Brosmer not only made in the Titans game, he made one really, really nice throw.
I like that nickname, Brosmer.
I just came up, I'm not the first to come up with that, right?
I haven't heard it.
I've never heard it.
We have to.
He's Brosmer.
I thought it was a verbal typo.
Yeah.
Right. No, he's Brosmer. But nevertheless, in the Patriots preseason game, he made 3 throws there that were bona fide big-time NFL throws with arm strength and head on the swivel and the whole thing.
That one on 4th and long was terrific.
And he's going to win the game to Miles Price if Price's arm isn't held down in the front of the end zone, not win the game, but pull within 2 in just a terrible, sloppy game where the Vikings had no right to even tie a game, but Brosmer rolled him down the field and took care of business. So he threw that touchdown to Miles Price in the Texans game, won the hearts of O'Connell, McCown, the coaching staff clearly. And this is all, you talk about putting the cart before the proverbial horse here. They don't cut until tomorrow. Yeah. We're taking a leap from Max Brosmer.
We're a day early.
Not only is on the active 53, but he might even be the backup when they head to Chicago. But Nordo said earlier, Nordo watches all the games. He's like, he can't recall Brosmer like making passes like this or just cold-blooded connections and Danny Dimes and stuff like that as much as he has in training camp, the joints in the preseason games. Do you recall him looking like this last year?
I don't. I think especially when you look at the first half of the season, I think it was a really slow start. You lose that one to North Carolina on a field goal you should have made. That's a win you should have had underneath your belt. But I just remember kind of earlier being the year, you had Tanner Morgan for so long. So I was, at the U with Tanner Morgan, and you knew what you're going to get from Tanner Morgan every single game. That's just that confidence, that poise, that leadership, and then Tanner graduates and in comes Max, and you're like, okay, this kid's got talent. He's coming from an FCS school.
New Hampshire,
that is. And you didn't really know what to expect. And it was a slower start, but like I said, kind of midway through the year, he kind of started to take that role. And I think Nordo's right. I didn't see anything out of the ordinary as a quarterback that I was like, whoa, this guy's going to be an NFL player. And now here we are, right? So I don't know what it is. Maybe it was the poise in the meeting rooms. Maybe it was just...
If he gets cut tomorrow, they'll riot.
I know, right? No doubt.
It'll be outside of TCOPC with signs and cancel culture and social media, and people dunking on people right when they get up in the morning. It ain't going to happen. But
would that be partly our fault, though?
I think we're
rolling QB2 a day in advance.
We're putting too much diesel in the.
We're calling him Brosmer,
but he's good.
But he's been so good, and you're right, PA. Some of those throws he's been making on the NFL stage against NFL guys, and that's the thing you also have to realize too is you're not going up against so and so corner from Buffalo or from Bowling Green, and I mean no disrespect, but you're not. These are guys that are here for a reason. They're making NFL rosters or they're close to making NFL
some
rosters.
Of them.
Yeah, for a reason.
Yeah, so some of those lowercase L's that I saw at the end of the Patriots game and in the Titans game probably aren't going to make it.
That's true.
But you know what? They're in the same situation as Brosmer.
Exactly.
So go Brosmer on as a DB and make it as a college free agent
all day long.
It's not our fault that you're having problems
all day long.
All right, let me pay off this 53 because Nordo digs things like this.
I love it.
So with the offense 25-26 that I laid out.
Yeah.
Take umbrage with any of that, Nordo, or does it all sound good?
No, it sounds good to me, and I have the same questions on receiver.
Yep.
I'm curious, Urasek versus Bryson Nesbitt, how they handle that, but maybe Urasek's favored. But I think we're on the same page with that.
Urasek favored, and favors don't always win, but you laid it out nicely. Defense, Vikings defense trying to get to 53, having a good time with it. I got 25 of them. And the defensive line would go a little bit like this. Javon Hargrave, along with Jonathan Allen. And who else we got in there?
Jalen Redmond.
Yeah, we got Jalen Redmond. I have Levi Drake Rodriguez in the mix.
Gabe Murphy.
I'm tripping out right now. Who's 90?
Who's 90?
That's Ingram Dawkins, the
Thank
rookie.
you. Yep, Tyrion Ingram Dawkins. And drafted him in strongman. I got Levi Drake Rodriguez making it. I missed the Patriots game, played in the second half of the Titans game. This might have a little more 50-50 to it than I'm giving it credit for, but I got him in. We have Taimani in the mix, and we have Elijah Williams, undrafted Morgan State, making the defensive line depth chart. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got 7 there.
Yeah.
Does that sound good? Am I missing anybody?
No, I think you hit all the names. The only thing I was curious, out of that final preseason game, I thought I saw Elijah popped up with either a hammy or something like that. So this is kind of arbitrary, but maybe an Elijah who would have made the team starts out on like the pup or something like that.
Yeah, fair.
But I got the same 7.
Fair. Linebackers, inside guys. Cashman, Ivan Pace Jr., Kobe King, and Eric Wilson.
Yeah.
I only have 4.
I like it.
From the edge, Jonathan Grenard, along with the Gink is on fire, Gabriel Murphy, Bo Richter, Dallas Turner. So I got 5 there. We cool?
We're cool.
We're trying to add Austin Keys up in this mix.
I can't do it.
Tyler Batty.
Tyler Batty?
Though. Chaz Chambliss, though.
Yep, Chaz Chambliss.
And tackles in a third preseason game.
DBs. Here we go. Byron Murphy Jr., Jeff Okuda, Isaiah Rogers, Theo Jackson, Josh Metellus, Harry the Hitman, Jay Ward, Mekhi Blackman, Tavair Thomas. Tavair Thomas.
You're missing a name there, potentially, or maybe you're not.
Who?
Nudie.
Like I said, Byron Murphy, Jeff Okuda, Isaiah Rogers, Theo Jackson, Josh Metellus, Harrison Smith, Jay Ward, Mekhi Blackman, and Tavair Thomas. Nobody knows who he is. Where's number 37? Wait till you get a load of the Vikings going to the punt team, and you get the guys on the outside known as the Gunners. Think of what Marcus Sherrills did incredibly well. Old schoolers will remember Jake Reed when he was a Gunner. Joey Browner was a Gunner, and he was the bomb. Marcus Sherrills is the absolute best Gunner I've ever seen in my time calling Vikings football. Ty Felton will man one of those roles. Tavair Thomas, I believe, will man another one of those roles. So let me be the one to put 37 on the active 53, and we'll see where it goes from there.
5'10", 205 out of Ferris State.
Yes. A hockey school.
That's right.
Yeah, and I think he came in with Arizona. He's been around for a little bit, but I think he's found his niche here. So I got 25 there, then the obvious specialist. That's how I think this thing's going to shake out when they cut those things down tomorrow.
It's kind of disappointing, the way you were laying that out, and whether it's McGlothern, it's Blackman, Tavier maybe making a push at the finish line with the special teams contributions.
He'll be in.
They didn't stand out. That like Blackman, still, not popping for me back from the injury. McGlothern himself, I thought, splashed super early from a practice standpoint, and then frankly just disappeared. I feel like I haven't seen him in 2 weeks.
See, Thomas can play corner and safety, and I think that's going to help him.
And it's going to have to help because, as you named it, as of now, you're saying 4 corners plus Tavier as the safety corner. And you can't cut Jay Ward because I think Jay Ward has finally kind of put himself in a spot where it's like, I get it now.
Get it, Cam.
And then Theo and how important he's going to be post-Cam Bynum. So
yep.
I can't argue with that. I actually, and I know it's third-round equity off the injury, I would I like McGlothern overall more from a confidence and trust standpoint than I have in Blackman at this standpoint.
Yeah, he could
be. But I'm with you on it. We're going to be surprised by a name, I think, later on tomorrow.
You flip 29 and 5. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. I'm just looking at who's playing at what time of games.
Yeah,
and
I get you.
From a practice standpoint, who's repping with who and against the ones or the twos and stuff like that. But if McLaughrin made it and it wasn't Blackman, I would not be surprised.
Yeah, it sounds dumb. I just kept rooting. It's like, come on, Ambry. Come on, Ambry Thomas.
Yes, had that interception in the Texans game.
Yeah, come on, Zemiah Vaughn. Come on, show me something diamond and rough, the way that we've lauded a team with these undrafted free agent types that they've been able to identify, and it didn't happen.
Parker Fox, former player for the Golden Gophers basketball team. You watched him ball last year for the Sky-Yuma Central, and he's part of the 9 to noon stable. He joins the power trip frequently, and he's in Elite Sports Mind. We're going to chat about some football and basketball topics with P. Fox around the corner. Don't forget, and State Fair, hear us when we tell you this. Chris Finch, head coach of the Minnesota Timberwolves, here on air, on site, on demand, and on fire with 9 to noon at 10:15. So 10:15, 10:20. We're about 20-ish minutes from Finchy joining us at the Great Minnesota Get-Together on KFAN.
This Labor Day, say goodbye to spills, stains, and overpriced furniture with WashableSofas.com. Featuring Anabay, the only machine washable sofa inside and out, where designer quality meets budget-friendly pricing. Sofas start at just $6.99, making it the perfect time to upgrade your space. Anabay's pet-friendly, stain-resistant, and interchangeable slipcovers are made with high-performance fabric built for real life. You'll love the cloud-like comfort of hypoallergenic, high-resilience foam that never needs fluffing, and a durable steel frame that stands the test of time. With modular pieces, you can rearrange anytime. It's a sofa that adapts to your life. Now through Labor Day, get up to 60% off site-wide at WashableSofas.com. Every order comes with a 30-day satisfaction guarantee. If you're not in love, send it back for a full refund. No return shipping, no restocking fees, every penny back. Shop now at WashableSofas.com. Offers are subject to change and certain restrictions may apply.
Fox One is now live. It's the new way to stream all your Fox favorites all in one place. That means NFL Sundays and college football games, breaking news with the Fox voices you trust, and your favorite shows streamed as they happen so nothing gets spoiled. With Fox One, you get it all live. Edge-of-your-seat plays, jaw-dropping moments, and that feeling like you're right there in the action. Start your 7-day trial today. Offers are subject to change. Go to Fox One for complete terms and conditions. Fox One, we live for live. Streaming now.
Every business has an ambition. PayPal Open is the platform designed to help you grow into yours. With business loans so you can expand and access to hundreds of millions of PayPal customers worldwide. And your customers can pay all the ways they want with PayPal, Venmo, Pay Later, and all major cards, so you can focus on scaling up. When it's time to get growing, there's one platform for all business. PayPal Open. Grow today at paypalopen.com. Loans subject to approval in available locations.
This is Julian Edelman from Games with Names. Applebee's just cooked up the ultimate option play with their new Ultimate Trio deal. You can choose from 3 of their delicious appetizers and pair them up with 3 sauces for just $14.99. Craft your perfect trio from over 80,000 different combinations in this flavor-packed plate built for one, or to share if you're generous. You could stick with the classic pairings like boneless wings and buffalo sauce, or you could spice things up and try some unexpected combinations like dipping chicken wonton tacos in their honey Dijon mustard. It's time to head to your neighborhood Applebee's or order online today. That's eating good in the neighborhood.